AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Nike has announced that Caitlin Clark, no suit for you. Caitlin Clark hasn't received a signature shoe from Nike yet. And it's because A'ja Wlson needs to come first. Whoa, Nike, slow down. Based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with WNBA MVP and Nike athlete A'ja Wlson. But beyond Wilson, it's about a culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to. Is that a fake? Is that a fake? Is that the fakest?
No.
Remember yesterday we were saying who hard to hate better? Men or women?
Men or women.
And I'm not saying she's hating on her. I just think they don't know each other. Sometimes you hug people, you just like, oh, what's going on? And somebody hugs you like, I don't want to hug you. They're mad sweaty. Did you used to do that? Dap people up like that, mad sweaty? With your jersey?
No, I wasn't one of those. Fist pump, tap on the ass, something like that. But I don't want to hug none of you niggas. Get away from me.
You just tap them on the ass?
Like I said, fist bump or tap on the ass. That's it. I don't want to hug none of you niggas.
And what is that statement to you? It's about a culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to.
She's gonna get a shoe. Let's call that what it is. She's gonna get a shoe. But well, first question: is she a Nike? Is she repped by Nike? Is she part of Nike already?
Well, and clearly, because they're saying they're not gonna give her the shoe. They're gonna go. They gotta go.
Okay, so if she's Team Nike or whatever you want to call that, then I would say that they're not doing that right. I don't see why they can't launch a signature shoe for her same time for A'ja Wlson. I don't see how that is a conflict of interest. You have your best rookie and you have your best player in the league. Both polarizing, both having amazing seasons. A'ja just won her third MVP, right? That's putting her in a certain class. And then, quiet as kept, Caitlin Clark had an amazing year this year as a rookie. Her rookie numbers are comparable to all 3 seasons Sheryl Swoopes won MVP. Just to let everybody know. But anyway,
she's not quite the defender of Sheryl Swoopes.
She's not. I said this to you face to face.
I just wanted to take credit for it.
I said,
you know the person who says it more recent gets the credit for it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm gonna just keep repeating it like I came up with it. Lee, did you know that Sheryl Swoopes is a better defender than Caitlin Clark?
Hey, you breaking news. You're an asshole. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think. Listen, it's not gonna be too long before she gets a shoe. Let me say that. By the time next year rolls around, they might have a shoe. They might pop a shoe off before the next WNBA season even starts. Right? Like they can act like they don't want to go with the tide, right? Everybody is loving Caitlin Clark, but why not go with it? She deserves it.
Well, she's clearly. We know. Well, she is the magnet. Come on, like it's so overblown that they all go crazy over her. She's polarizing. She's what happens in the modern day with the modern day superstars. Who's a modern day superstar that isn't polarizing? Like John Morant for a second wasn't polarizing, right? Like Ant-Man.
Oh, I thought he always was polarizing.
You thought he was okay with the Warriors fans? You thought he was polarizing?
I thought he was polarizing just how, when you looked at him, you was locked in. The locks, the tattoos, he was ingratiating himself into the culture of basketball, right? He's an NBA player, but as much as we attach Allen, and I'm talking about Allen Iverson, to the culture, great player, but the people love Allen Iverson. The people were loving Ja Morant. That's why that thing with that gun thing hit. It disappointed so many people because so many people were latching their wagon onto him. So I thought Ja was polarizing.
I think Ja's a great comparison with Iverson. He is the new Iverson in terms of must-see TV.
Yeah,
Iverson was that. He was a watch like that. He just was. But Steph Curry maybe is the only one that's not polarizing. Like, I hate him. The only time he becomes polarizing when you say, "Oh, Magic, he's the best point guard," then it becomes polarizing. But he himself, LeBron is polarizing. Kobe was polarizing. But even Kobe was not in his era. But in this era, everything is polarizing. You throw a thing out there, and somebody's got to choose a side of nothing. They just make a beef up.
Everything is A or B,
right?
Or top or bottom. Pause. That was crazy. That was crazy. Left or right.
Especially as I transition into Caitlin Clark again. But she's polarizing. Obviously, it wasn't. Then again, I don't know. You never know what they do in the background. She might not even be in control of if she has an agency. She doesn't know who's in the farm out there on Twitter and what they're really putting out there. What we've learned, like with these political people, and they go, Russia, and Facebook, whatever. They have these secret little campaigns to start shit online. Right? So who knows if they're really trying to push David Portnoy still right now. You're like, yo, man, you got to investigate the foul on. We saw it live. It was like, bro, you see the way they asked the girl too? Did you when I just forgot the girl's name I just seen with the big eyelashes that she's on the team that beat her the team that beat the Indiana Fever when she hit Caitlyn in the eye with her nails. You're not hearing about this controversy?
Nah.
Oh wow. Okay. So when she got fouled, she got hit in the eye, and they're going crazy over the WNBA. And then you
have the recent foul when she was going to the rim and she got hit.
No, she didn't go to the rim. She like pump faked and passed the rock off.
Okay.
So now they're asking the girl to keep making a big deal, like, oh, she poked the girl in the eye. It was on purpose. And it was like, if it was on purpose, that was the illest, purposeful assault of all time. And she deserves to not get any. She deserves more credit for it if that's the case, because it was slick enough for me. And even that is now blown up more because it's Caitlin Clark. You wouldn't have cared if that was every other girl. And if that was Angel Reese, boy, oh boy, I wonder what you guys would have said. But I digress. Part of the reason why all of this is blowing up is the reason why you say what you just said. Why isn't there Caitlin Clark, A'ja Wlson campaign, Rookie of the Year? That's the perfect way to really do a commercial. Regardless if you run separate commercial for them afterwards or at the same time.
Right. If you run it separately, I don't see why Nike wouldn't capitalize on the moment, right? I think they're trying to not be like the crowd or whatever. Because the reason why I asked if Caitlin Clark was a part of Nike already is because if she doesn't get the shoe in a timely fashion, she could go somewhere else and go get a shoe. Like, or go be a signature athlete for Adidas, for Puma, for I'm just naming other, there are other competitors to Nike now. Nike is not the end all be all anymore. They're the top dog, but they're not the end all be all anymore. So that's why I was asking if she was a Nike signature athlete.
That's why we have computers for you people that just want to be smart asses and be like, well, how did you guys know? I see you guys in the comments. You guys can do your research beforehand. No, we're not little jerks like you that go look it up and then leave it in the comments. I know exactly what you're doing. A lot of stats out there that there's very few people that have the encyclopedic mind. Shout out to Fish. We spoke the other day. He's like, yo, I had to go back and do my research, man, because I know when we going at it, we got to battle for real. And it's like, damn, I appreciate that.
I pride myself. We talk all the time. I pride myself on being like historian and can spit off, but I'm human, right? I gotta go back and really refresh my memory on what stuff looked like. And people always talk off the whim, and everybody's worried about pride. I can't be wrong. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you can be wrong. We all can be wrong.
Right, and that's the number one thing, actually, with being in front of the microphone, that people are scared to be wrong. And the more and more I've seen the guys from ESPN and wherever else, it's just like, yo, y'all be dead wrong. And you did all that research, you got all those producers and are still wrong. There's no way we have that much access, Flea. That's why a little more access is a wrap. We get to go boop boop. It's touch of a button, you're getting all this stuff. So back to
they got people in their ear. They got people in their ear.
And they still get it wrong. Yelling. Nike's missing the boat with this.
Yeah,
but
hold on. How they putting that together? But we say that,
but Black Lives Matter after the pandemic. This is all post George Floyd. Like, is that lingering still for them? Like, and also the Caitlin Clark thing with her being so polarizing, they don't want to just have her. If she can't see you in their mind, she can't. Caitlin Clark cannot get the first signature shoe or a signature shoe before A'ja Wlson.
A'ja Wlson. But
that's what they're worried about.
Because you know why? You know why?
we
love A'ja. Asia's the best player in the NBA, in the WNBA, bar none. I don't think that's debatable right now.
Real quick,
but
because all both thought I was crazy. The gap between A'ja Wlson and who would you say is the second best player?
Who would I say is the second best player in the WNBA?
Give me a top 5, because look, this is crazy.
I would say A'ja. I would say Breanna Stewart. I would say A'ja. I would say Breanna. I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, because I haven't had to think about that. I mean, I could run off names, but how do I want to rank them? We ranking them right now. Like, I can run off a bunch of names that I think are good, but we want to rank these women properly. And I think A'ja and Breanna Stewart right now are at the top of the list. I think Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx, she may be in the conversation.
So let's stop right there. There's a gap.
Jackie Young is the guard for Las Vegas Aces. For me, I think she's very good. I don't know where she would be top, but
the gap between A'ja Wlson and, let's say, Breanna Stewart's number 2, whoever's number 2, is significantly bigger than.
It's significant, but Breanna Stewart a dog.
Like, not saying they just seem to be the overwhelming favorites to come out of.
Breanna just won MVP last year, I think.
But there's a gap.
There is.
So in the NBA, there's really no gap to me. Like, Joker's not by far. If you like Joker, he's not by far better than Embiid, and he's really better because Embiid is injured, doesn't take care of himself. He won the MVP though. Giannis is always in the conversation. Or SJ trying to sneak in there. There's no real gap between Joker and everybody else to me. Not like that. A'ja Wilson's that's why she's like Serena right now. She's looking like Serena right now. That's dominant.
That's why for me, like, how we rank NBA players now is so, like, it's cool to do it now because the gap is not as huge. At one point, get your emotions out of it for a second, everybody. But at one point, Bron was here and everybody else was down here. Then you start doing number 2 and on for a long time.
I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna tick you off again because we got you to calm down. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
What was my directions? I said, take your emotions out.
Exactly.
And be logical and understand for a stretch, Bron was here and everybody else was, we around somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.